Nobody really liked going near the back of the cemetery at night, but Jenny had to see it. She had to see for herself. Everybody in Benin knew Mama Jeff's food was the best. The pepper soup, the fried yam, even her jollof rice. You could walk anywhere in the city and people would tell you, Mama Jeff no get rival. But there was something wrong. Something nobody wanted to talk about. Jenny only started noticing when the number of her regular customers got too high to be normal. Jenny remembered the night she first saw it. She was coming back from the motor park. The moon was thin and sickly, barely lighting the road. She saw Mama Jeff crouched near the edge of the cemetery. She had a small basket, and her eyes were darting like a cat that had seen something it shouldn't. Jenny wanted to shout, but her tongue stuck. And then Mama Jeff looked right at her. Jenny's heart stopped. She pretended to tie her shoe, hoping Mama Jeff wouldn't notice her. She didn't. But that night, Jenny started asking questions.
The next morning at the market, everyone was talking about her new batch of pepper soup. This one, hot past hot, a man shouted as he sipped. Jenny could smell it from a distance and she swore it had a strange, almost metallic taste under the pepper. She frowned. That wasn't usual. Mama Jeff noticed Jenny staring and she winked. Jenny's stomach twisted. Mama Jeff was hiding something. She knew it. Jenny began following her little by little. At first, she told herself she was just curious. Then she couldn't stop. Every evening, Mama Jeff would disappear around the same time. Sometimes she'd come back late at night, her hands smelling faintly of earth and something else. Jenny tried asking neighbors, but nobody knew. Some said she was just collecting herbs, but Jenny didn't believe that. The air around Mama Jeff carried a tension, like she was touching something forbidden. One night, Jenny stayed longer than usual behind the trees lining the cemetery. Her feet were cold and her heart beat so loud she thought Mama Jeff might hear it. She saw her digging softly near a fresh grave, her basket at her side. She couldn't see clearly, but she knew Mama Jeff was taking something. She wanted to run, wanted to scream, but she couldn't. She was frozen. And then she saw the way Mama Jeff smiled, that slow, satisfied smile she always gave when someone complimented her food. That smell made Jenny's skin crawl. Mama Jeff knew she had power over everyone and she was addicted to it.
Weeks passed, and the city talked more about Mama Jeff. People who had never spoken to each other started comparing stories of her food. Everyone agreed it was magical. Even Jenny, knowing the truth, couldn't resist trying it sometimes. The taste was addictive, and it was impossible to stop. But every time she ate, she felt a shadow inside her, like she was part of something dark. Then came the first scandal. One of Mama Jeff's biggest customers, a popular trader, fell sick right after a meal at her stall. Nobody knew why at first. They thought it was food poisoning from the heat or a bad batch of fish. But the symptoms were different, strange, unexplainable. The rumors spread, whispers grew louder, and some people began to avoid her. Mama Jeff didn't care. She laughed at the rumors, waving her hands as if nothing could touch her. Jenny decided she couldn't stay silent any longer. She told one of her closest friends about what she had seen at the cemetery. He turned pale and told her, "Jenny, be careful. If word reach police, you too fit enter wahala." That was when Jenny realized how far Mama Jeff's influence went. She didn't just sell food. She controlled fear, superstition, and desire all at once.
But fear only lasts so long. Mama Jeff got careless. One evening, she forgot to cover her tracks. A neighbor saw her taking something from the mortuary itself, not just the cemetery this time. She had a small dark bag and her face was lit by a faint lantern, eyes glinting like a predator. That neighbor called the police immediately. Jenny stayed home that night, shaking. She knew the story was about to explode. The next morning, when Mama Jeff arrived at her store, it was different. The crowd was smaller, quieter. A few policemen were there in plain clothes. Mama Jeff laughed like she always did, pretending she didn't know what was coming. But Jenny saw her hands trembling slightly. It was the first time she'd seen fear in Mama Jeff's eyes. The very next day, they came for her in the early hours. The whole city woke to the news. Mama Jeff was gone from her stall, and the market was buzzing with a mixture of relief, fear, and disbelief.
People whispered about Mama Jeff in hushed tones for weeks. Some said she had been selling food spiced with things nobody wanted to name. Others swore her stall would never be the same. Even the taste of pepper soup in Benin felt different without her presence. Ginny visited the market once, looking at the empty space where she used to stand. A strange quiet hung over it, like the air itself was mourning. Ginny couldn't stop thinking about Mama Jeff's secret, about how long she had gone undetected, about the people who had eaten her food, unknowingly part of something horrifying. She thought about the fear, the desire, the power she had held. And she remembered the first night she saw her at the cemetery, the small, wicked smile Mama Jeff gave. Mama Jeff is in custody now. The law is taking its course. People are talking about trials and evidence, but the market already feels different. There's a shadow lifted, but also a scar left behind. And every time Ginny walks past that cemetery at night, she feels eyes on her, remembering the things she saw, the smell of earth, and the quiet, terrible joy that had once belonged to Mama Jeff. Even after all this, part of Ginny misses the taste. And maybe that's the worst part.